All right, Ben. So what can you tell me about this next group?
Well, they're called DiveBook, and there's like a scuba logbook diving app and whatnot. And it's actually really, really interesting because when I was working with them and like talking to them about it, they were saying that like how the scuba logbooks are like just manual and all that stuff. So they were able to try to put it in a digital format. And I would like to see how the engineers of DiveBook implemented it.
Hello, we are Emily Liu, Roger Palabasan, Ramesh Prasad, and Harrison Cole, and we're proud to present DiveBook. As a scuba diver, it's crucial that you maintain a logbook of all your previous dives. Why? Divers need to keep track of the locations and dates of their dives, any observations they made, and important information, like the amount of weight they need to wear to sink, given certain equipment. Most important, dive shops rely on a diver's logbook to make sure that a diver is competent enough to handle some of the more difficult dives. Now, instead of using a rubber stamp and ink, dive shops can log into DiveBook and generate a unique QR code that they can present to divers who can scan it for log verification. And now, here's Ramesh to walk us through the diver's story.
Thank you, Harrison. Ben is a diver. After logging into DiveBook, he's taken to the home page and view a list of his logged dives, his badges, and his certifications. He can click on a dive and view all the specs and tagged observations for that dive. If the dive has been verified by a dive shop, the log will render with a unique stamp for that dive shop. Ben can go to the diver menu and view his personal analyses over time in metrics, such as time underwater and rate of air consumption. Additionally, he can go to his personal map, which flags all his previously logged dives. Ben has opted into location sharing, so he can see a white flag that shows the nearest dive shop to his current location. This was done by using the postGIS spatial database. Implementing postGIS was particularly challenging due to the required use of raw SQL queries in order to find a distance between two locations. Now, Emily will go over how Ben can add a new log to DiveBook.
Thank you, Ramesh. Sorry. Now Ben's ready to enter his most recent dive. He entered the specs and his observations. This log is not verified. He presents it to the dive shop, Aquadive Center. If they approve, they will provide him their unique QR code so that Ben can scan for verification. Now you can see Ben is scanning the QR code. So now the log is verified. Since this dive was deeper than 30 meters and Ben has been to more than 10 places, he's earned the Aquaman and the Voyager badges. From the home page, Ben can also view his updated sightings in the D3 bubble chart. It displays the observations sized by the number of tagged logs. It is particularly challenging to implement with React, since both libraries directly modify the DOM and could cause them to clash. When he clicks on the quarrel, he will be able to view the quarrel page with details of observations and locations where other DiveBook users have spotted them. And when he clicks on the map, it will display the fish icons relating to the frequency of the quarrel observations by the dive site. Now here's Roger to walk us with our tech stack.
Thank you so much, Emily. Our tech stack utilizes many techniques we've learned while at Full Stack Academy. For our backend, we use Node, Express, Postgres, PostGIS with a Sequelize object relational mapping. And on the front end, we use React, Redux, Britecharts, React Map.gl, and D3.js. So why use DiveBook? DiveBook eliminates the risk of divers losing their physical logbook, which is the source of all verification and diving history. But better yet, it provides them with an interactive way for divers to relive their experiences, catalog and search for marine life, compete for badges, and share all they've seen with the diving community. Come check us out at thedivebook.herokuapp.com. Thank you so much, and we look forward to diving with you.
It's such a beautiful app with those visualizations and all that. I just really am impressed with how they brought it along.
Yeah, did you get like a tally on how many technologies they used on that one? What was that? React Map, location sharing, D3 charting, QR codes, bubble chart. It's amazing stuff, and it was very nicely designed, very clean, very professional looking. You know, and I didn't know I was a diver, but you know, now I'm going to be one because of this app.
Yeah, the really interesting thing to me about this is that they were able to bring something that you do in real life onto the web in a way that seemed natural. You know, a lot of times you see like, oh, well, it's, you know, it's this thing you do in real life and now it's on the internet. It doesn't quite work, but I think this one really does. So I think that that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you know, Roger said at the last one, they mitigate issues of like losing some physical things, and now they could just like relive that with all these visualizations. It's absolutely amazing.